Hey there, Steeler Nation. Flip Fisher, staff writer at BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. In my last video and article, I went over Mason Rudolph and his struggles against the Dolphins in the first half on Monday night. I kind of railed on him pretty good, going up against a poor 0-7, well, now 0-7 Dolphins team. And he didn't look good. The continuation of poor touch on the deep passes absolutely does not help. The poor progression that we're seeing, the very poor footwork, and this is a continuation. But things kind of turned around a bit in the second half, or did they? You know, as I pointed out in the Baltimore game, he had good stats. But the tape didn't show that stats were always that good. Now, he was 11 for 15 and 112 yards in the second half. Pretty solid, right? A couple of things I want to point out is the Dolphins lost their best cornerback in Xavier Howard in the third quarter. One thing I did not mention in my last video was how I was very impressed with Rudolph attacking one-on-one coverage. Now, it didn't always pan out for him, but he did have some pretty nice throws in one-on-one coverage where he was kind of throwing up 50-50 balls, which, you know, I don't have a huge issue with that. It's where he's overthrowing those 50-50 balls. That's my big issue with it. So let's hop right in to the video. And, you know, this could not have been easy coming on that second half after getting booed in the first half. I'm going to give him props on doing fine with that. Now, this is just a bad pass on Rudolph's part, and it really could have been picked off if Juju hadn't knocked it out of there. Now, let's rewind this a little bit. Now, you're going to see Rudolph bounce around in the pocket a bit. Doesn't get his feet set. Throws it. He's throwing with his... look at his feet. His feet are almost parallel with each other. You're not gonna get any mustard on that. And Juju makes a nice play to break it up. So this could have been his second or third interception of the night. And he got away with another bad pass. Now, here we go. We got 2nd and 7. And Rudolph throws a nice ball over the middle. If you watch him, he's got time, and he steps up in the pocket. This is something we just don't see. We have not hardly seen this out of Rudolph. Stepping up into the pocket and throwing a strike. Throwing a perfect pass to Juju. Here we got first and 20. This is another frustrating pass out of Rudolph, where it's going to be an underthrow on a guy that has a step. We're going to be looking down here at the bottom half of the screen. You got Vance McDonald. He's got separation, but the ball is underthrown. And I don't know. You know, he's got plenty of time. And you know, you see right there, he just Where's his feet? They're together after he throws the ball. This is just the continued really poor footwork that's really causing him to miss some throws. And how that's not corrected by now is just baffling. And, a better safety, or I think that's a safety that was on him. Yeah, a better safety picks that off. So, again, could have been another turnover. Now, this play, this is a 2nd and 20, and this is a mixed bag. There's some things that I really like about this play, and others that I just don't. One problem is he stares him down. Don't like that with Rudolph. It's just the no progression, giving the defense a heads up where you're going. Now, I do like that he stands tall here in the pocket, and he steps up a little bit, and he's going to take the hit. Whether he knows he's going to take the hit or not, that's debatable. But he takes the hit either way. And the ball is a little bit thrown behind, little bit. Not going to ding him on that, because Washington was still able to get it. Was not picked up. We got a 2nd and 2. Now, this is a terrible, terrible throw. Plenty of time in the pocket, and he dumps it out to McDonald. But he never gives McDonald any chance to get any yards after the catch. And I'm going to assume this is a designed play because of the whole flow. Everything's flowing this way. All the defense is flowing that way. And there's McDonald leaking out. But he throws it into the dirt. And McDonald makes a good play, but, geez. Got to give you guys some yak, attempt. Because look at this. He's wide open. Wide open. And the guy covering him is, 15 yards away. Give McDonald a chance there. Give him a chance to make a play on the ball. Here's the 2nd and... Oh, sorry, they were still the same play. Here's a 2nd and 6. And this is where he's just not very good outside of the pocket. He doesn't look downfield. And this was the same thing that we saw, I believe, in the Baltimore game when he was rolling out. And could have probably had Juju, but, throw it away. Don't take the sack. And you'll see where Juju is going to be open here. Lofted it over. Right there. Throw it up. Don't take the sack. No, he's going to take the sack. Throw it away. One of the two. Don't take the sack. Here's a 3rd and 8. Now, he did have a cleaner pocket in the second half. Continues to drive, and that's been a thing that I've really knocked on him a lot, is continuing drives. Not the best of throws, but not the worst either. I mean, he's putting it right where the receiver can get it. He's not throwing it into any danger spots, and it prolongs the drive. I'll give him kudos on that. Not every pass needs to be on the numbers. There's a 1st and 10. And here again, be looking for his footwork. The happy feet. Why the happy feet? There's nobody around him. Nobody around him. Let's back that up a little. Even though we're going to see that in the next clip. But you'll see there's nobody around him. And he's got happy feet. And the worst thing is he's got guys open. Here. Even maybe here. And it's just that the happy feet and the lack of progression. It's just frustrating. He's locked onto him. Why is he not making the throw there? It looked like he almost quickly looked over to his left, but he didn't. And he takes the check down instead. That's where I get frustrated with Rudolph. And, maybe it's nitpicking. Call it what it is. But when you're missing wide open guys, what else are you supposed to think, on the play? So here we go. Okay, here's 2nd and 9. Now, this is what I like. And this is what I brought up earlier about the 50-50 throws that I like seeing him make. Here's the touchdown to Juju. And that is fantastic defense. And Juju just uses his body, which we've seen him do, to fight off the defender and just take the ball away. I'm fine with that. I think that's a good play on Rudolph's part. He does a little progression even. And Juju just outfights. Here we go. We got 1st and 10. Now, this is something you never see him, you just don't see him do. Waits for the play to develop. Roll that back. And you'll see it. Coming over the middle. Rudolph waiting for him to clear. Clears. Now he's throwing. That's a play you just don't see Rudolph making. He's either missing those completely, or he's not waiting for the player to clear. And Juju does such a good job of just sliding right into that zone, that open spot in the zone. There was a lot of things I liked with Rudolph in the second half. There was. But then there's still some of the same stuff that I've been harping on all year. Where's the progression? Where's his footwork? So, I get it. Rudolph is a work in progress. I'm not discounting that. Like I said in the comments section today, I think Rudolph would be a fine backup in the NFL. I'm just not seeing any progression between what I saw in the Seattle game, what I saw in preseason this year, to now. That would make me go, wow. I mean, how many plays have you seen so far where you've just gone, wow, that's our quarterback? Wow, I want Mason Rudolph to be our starting quarterback in 2024. How many plays have you said that to yourself? I can only think of a few. Out of what, 100 and something passes that he's had so far? He walked away from an 0-7 Dolphins game and could have been picked off 3 to 4 times. But he wasn't. I would just like to see him scan the field more and be more patient. But then there's a difference between the patience part, because there's times where he's holding on to the ball too long, but not scanning the field and only looking on one side of the field, and it's leading to pressure. But then there's other times where he's not letting stuff develop and he's getting happy feet in the pocket. So, what was really my takeaway from the game? I seen a lot what I've seen so far the rest of the year. I did see, as a whole, absolutely not impressive. No. Just because that first half was that bad. So what are we going to see out of the Colts this weekend? Well, the Colts definitely do not have a stellar defense whatsoever. Their pass defense is mid-pack. How the Steelers are going to react with no Connor? How are we going to go with Jalen Samuels? Is he going to have a Oakland game, Jalen Samuels, or is it going to be a New England Patriots game? That will definitely take a lot of pressure off of Rudolph. So what do I want to see out of Rudolph this weekend and in the future? Well, let's look at the Colts really quick. Not going to get into this a lot, but this is not a terrible defense. Not a real good one either. 10th in the league against the pass for yards. Middle of the pack for touchdowns given up. They don't give too many takeaways, just like the Dolphins. And then net yards per attempt, middle of the pack again. I definitely want to keep with Rudolph and keep Devlin Hodges on the bench for now. So what happens if Rudolph has a tough time this week? Definitely trot him out against the Rams. See what he has against the Rams. But if he's horrendous against the Colts, do you put him on a shorter leash against the Rams? I don't know. Right now, I would say no. But if he doesn't do very well in either one of those games, absolutely have him on a short leash against Cleveland. And if he performs poorly again, like he did the first half, bring Duck in and see what he's got. I want to give Rudolph every chance that he has to shine. I don't want to send him to the bench when Hodges really was not overly impressive against the Chargers. So there it is. I get accused that I'm a Rudolph hater, but I keep saying over and over, keep Rudolph as our quarterback. He's a third rounder. He's making his 5th NFL start. Give him some time. But he's got to start showing that he's progressing with each game. And that's the problem that I'm hardly seeing any of that of. It's just not happening very much. And this is where I'm going to put some of the blame on the coaching staff. Why we do not have a quarterback coach is beyond me. Makes zero sense. I harped on this last year when we had the 2 young quarterbacks in Dobbs and Rudolph last year. Now we have another 2 young quarterbacks this year. We got Randy Fitchner as the quarterbacks coach. Get a full-time quarterbacks coach. What's the big deal? So, all right. There is my 2 cents, Steeler Nation. Please give me a big thumbs up. Give me some reaction. Give me a thumbs down. I'm okay with that. Be sure to subscribe. You know, like I said, I put up other content on here. And make sure you ring that bell to get notified when I do put up that content. Because I do plan on putting up some content before this article comes out. All right. Thank you, Steeler Nation. Laters.